Okay, guys, so the second poem you can choose by Robert Frost is Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. Once again, Frost is an incredibly popular poet. I know he's one you've heard of before. This is another one of his poems that's, incredibly well known. I think you guys have probably heard of this before. Let's read through it. Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village, though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. He gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sound's the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The woods are lovely, dark, and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Nice, kind of simple poem. I think for me, probably what stands out the most is the use of imagery. And I know all of you know very well what imagery is. It's the use of your five senses to have a reader really be able to see and smell and hear and feel and all those five senses, right? Let's say taste, touch, smell, feeling, and hearing. Okay. So we know that when an author describes something in detail using imagery, he's allowing us to be there. I don't know about y'all, but I was there on a cold winter's night with Robert Frost in his poem. So let's take a look. Whose woods these are, I think I know. So simple, right? He thinks he knows who lives there. Okay. He's in the middle of the woods, by the way, though. So I do picture like there's not a lot of things surrounding him, but he does know that area of woods, maybe the little nice like cabin with smoke coming out of the fireplace. He knows that he knows who lives there. His house is in the village, though. Rewind what I just said. He knows whose woods it is, but there's no house there. His house is in the village. He would not see me stopping here. So the guy whose woods, the guy who owns it, won't even know he's there stopping to watch his woods fill up with snow. So we know that it's a cold winter's night. It's snowing, right? Don't you picture it? It's hard right now, big spring, looking out at the greenness to picture it, but it's snowing continuously, and everything when he looks around is white. My little horse must think it queer. So the horse thinks it's weird to stop without a farmhouse near. He's like, hello, why are we? Because can't you picture he's on like a little carriage and the horse is carrying him, pulling the carriage. But he's like, why are we stopping here? Weird. Between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. So it's nighttime. Nobody's around. It's cold. The horse is wondering why they're stopping. He gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake. We know this horse really isn't turning around and asking the speaker in the poem what's going on, but we just know that it's kind of personification, isn't it? If you consider animals an example of personification, we know that not everybody does, but if we did, it's sort of personification because him ringing his bells is a way of him basically saying, why are we stopping? Is that right? The only other sound is the sweep of easy wind and downy. So once again, imagery, right? The only other sound, the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. An almost kind of silent, magical sound. You know when it's snowing? The woods are lovely, dark, and deep. That's probably my favorite line of this poem. The woods are lovely, dark, and deep. I think in this poem, it sounds good because there's definitely the use of alliteration. We know alliteration is the same beginning sound on multiple. There only really in a line of poetry, there only has to be two words that start with the same beginning sound for it to be considered alliteration. If we go back and we look through this poem, stopping and snow. Sweep. Probably the S sound is probably the most obvious example of alliteration. But like that line that I said I like, dark and deep, we've got the D sound there. But I have promises to keep. So basically at the end, he's saying, this is nice. Like I'm really enjoying being out here looking at the snow falling. But I got stuff to do. I've got places to be. People are waiting on me. So I have to make that decision to continue on, and miles to go before I sleep. So he makes the decision to continue on, even though he is enjoying stopping there in the middle of the woods and watching the snow fall around him. He has things to do, so he keeps going. Okay, so I'm about to run out of time. I will stop it and do one more video talking about the sound and rhyme scheme.